All right, welcome to Notes 8.6 Part 2. So, like I said before, if I tell you one angle, I should be able to figure out all the other angles. And I want you to try and see if you can pick up on a pattern. So if angle 1 is 40 degrees, you go to angle 1 and label that 40 degrees. Immediately you should try and use vocab words to find out all the other angles that you think are 40 degrees. So you can use a vertical relationship to say that, hey, angle 4 is equal to 40 degrees. Why? Because 1 and 4 are vertically related. So if this is 40 degrees, then 4 has to be 40 degrees. You can also say via a corresponding relationship with angle 1, angle 5 is 40 degrees, right? Because corresponding angles are the same. They're on the same side and they skip, so therefore that's 40 degrees, right? Also, you could say via alternate interior relationship, angle 3 and angle 4, angle 4 and angle 5, angle 4 and angle 5 are 40 degrees, even though we already know they're 40 degrees, but they're related because they're alternate interior. And finally, you could say via alternate exterior relationship that angle 1 and angle 8 are 40 degrees. So angle 8 equals 40 degrees. Okay. Now you could necessarily just go ahead and say, oh, 40, 40, 40, 40, and hopefully you can see this kind of zigzag pattern, right? It skips one on each side, it skips one on the inside, and you kind of see, okay, they all are kind of, if I zigzag my way, they're vertically related or alternate interior related, and you kind of puzzle it together, right? The last thing you need to do is figure out all the other angles. Well, this right here, 1 and 2, to start right off the bat, is a supplementary relationship. So to figure out what angle 2 is, and hence all the other angles, you will do 180 minus 40, and you'll get 140. Okay, so angle 2 is 140, and we'll put that over here. Angle 2 is 140. That was via supplementary relationship. But angle 3 via a vertical relationship with 2 will be 140 degrees, because angle 3 and 2 are vertically related. Angle 6 will be 140 degrees because they are alternate interior related. You can say vertical for this one. You can say alternate interior for this one. And you could say angle 6 and 7 are vertically related, so that's why it's 140 degrees. Or you could say 2 and 7 are alternate exterior related, so that's why it's 140 degrees. So the main thing I want you to see is that it's a pattern. You will always, on transversal diagrams, only have 2 measurements, right? One measurement, in this case, is 40 degrees on 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 8 angles, and the other measurement is 140 degrees. This will always be that way. And I also want you to see the pattern, right? On only one side of a line, it always adds up to 180. So, like, this is a line right here, right? And it's 180 degrees. This is a straight angle right here, and it's 180 degrees. This is a straight angle, 180 degrees. This is a straight angle, 180 degrees. You could even do it sideways, right? 40 and 140, 180. 140 and 40, 180. 40 and 140, 180. 140 and 40, 180. Notice you'll never have more than 180 degrees on a straight angle line. Also, if you did it kind of in a circular fashion, 40, 140, 40, 140, that all adds up to 360 degrees. Same with this chunk down here, 40, 140, 140, 40, all adds up to 360 degrees. All right, let's go to the back side. So we're going to just practice our vocab until we get it right. So angle 1, there are alternate exteriors. Angle 1 and 8, right? Alternate exteriors. They're both outside and opposite. This is what I'll expect you to be able to do on your homework. Explain why, right? Both outside and opposite. So angles 3 and 5. This is actually a tricky one. So here's angle 3 and here's angle 5. Some of you might say, oh, that's corresponding. They're on the same side. Others might say, oh, that's alternate interior because they're both on the inside. You're actually both wrong. There is no relationship between angles 3 and 5. There's no skipping. Yes, they're both on the inside, but they're not on the opposite sides. This is an obtuse angle and this is an acute angle. So they cannot equal each other. So there is no relationship. You could say that they do add up to 180. Add up to 180. Because again, we have an obtuse angle here that's going to be greater than 90, and an acute angle that will be less than 90, and added together you get 180, right? What about angles 1 and angle 5? Now we have a relationship, right? They're both acute angles. They are corresponding. And how do we prove that they're corresponding? We say that they are same side of the transversal, right? They're both on the left eye, and we skipped one, right? Angles 4 and 8. Again, here's 4, here's 8. That's another example of corresponding. They're on the same side, and they just skip one angle, right? Corresponding is the only one where you don't have to be like on opposite sides of the transversal, but you do have to remember that you have to skip an angle, right? In this case, they're both acute. Same side and skip. What about angles 2 and 6? So let me go here. Again, angles 2 and 6. How about that? Again, corresponding relationship. Angle 2 and 6, they're on the same side and skip. What about 4 and 5? Here, they're on opposite sides, and they're both on the inside. That's why we call it alternate interior. Both inside and opposite, right? That fits the definition of alternate interior. What about 2 and 7? Here's 2, here's 7. So this time, this is alternate exterior, exit outside, right? Exterior. Misspelled that, my fault. Exterior, right? They are both outside and opposite. Okay, number 8, 3 and 6. Okay, hopefully you should be able to pick up a pattern. They're both on the inside and they're opposite, so alternate interior. The more you practice this, the more you should realize, okay, I kind of get this pattern, both inside and opposite. What about 4 and 6? Now be careful. A lot of people would say, oh, they're both inside, so they got to be alternate interior. But are they on opposite sides of the transversal? No, they're not. Remember, alternate interior have to be both inside and opposite. So again, this is no relationship. All right, what about angles 3 and 7? So here's angle 3, and here's angle 7. They're both on the same side. One's on the inside, one's on the outside. Both same sides, but they skip angle 5. Same side and skip, that's corresponding. Same side and skip. Okay? Now, we also have to remember our old relationships, the ones that we learned before we even learned these vocab words today. So for instance, angles 5 and 7, they are right next to each other and they exist on this straight angle, right? Basically, if I were to draw this a different way, we have this and we have 5 and we have 7, that is a supplementary relationship. So anytime you have angles right next to each other in these diagrams, whether they're horizontally or vertically, you're going to have a supplementary relationship. They're going to add up to 180 degrees, right? Anytime you have angles across from each other, like 1 and 4, you can kind of form that X or V. You're going to have a vertical relationship, right? You could draw something like this, right? So in this case, it was like 1 and 4, vertical relationship. All right, that's it for part 2.